A black
You saw that clip, right? Yeah, you saw that nurse sitting down right there and acting as if nothing was happening. So, guys, today we are talking about a story that is deeply disturbing and one that raises urgent questions about care, compassion, and equal treatment in our healthcare system. Recently, a viral video emerged showing a pregnant black woman in active labor in obvious pain at a hospital in Dallas. In that footage, you can hear her cries. You can look at the time and you will see she wasn't treated with the urgency you'd expect. The nurse is identified as Lacrista Vaughn, a medical professional who ignored the obvious signs that this patient needed immediate help. We are going to be looking at various reactions to this and what the internet is saying about this. Trust me, a lot of people are so annoyed with this whole thing because this is the experience of a lot of black women out there.
pregnant woman was in active labor. Her water had broken. She was doubled over in pain, screaming in a wheelchair. Yet the nurse responsible for helping her, LaChrista Vaughn, stayed cold, slow, and completely unconcerned. This video from Dallas Regional Medical Center in Mesquite, Texas, has enraged millions online. According to the woman's mother, the hospital had already been notified that her daughter was coming, and they knew she was in active labor and unable to walk. But when they arrived, the nurse demanded they complete paperwork first, ignoring the fact that the woman was seconds away from giving birth. The contrast in the video is shocking. A mother fighting through unbearable pain, and a nurse who acted like nothing urgent was happening. The woman's mother believes if she wasn't black, this would never have happened. Meanwhile, some people are defending the hospital, claiming it was a process issue or lack of staffing. So what do you think? Is this negligence, racial bias, or a failure of the entire medical system?
What's up, everybody? I'm going to give you guys a trigger warning before I show you this video, and then I'll react to it. But I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get yourself together. It's a mother having a hard time going into labor, and then I'll give a reaction to it. So watch this.
Right now. Is your due date 11? What? How many times have you been pregnant? 3. This is your 3rd pregnancy? Yes. You have 2 babies
It's
at
in
home?
my ass.
You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the black ones?
Okay, so what you just saw was awful, right? And this is why I'm always making posts about black women's maternal health and jumping up and down about how hard it is for black women when they want to bring life into this world. This could be your wife or girlfriend. This could be your sister, your aunt, or some of you watching, it could be your mom. If you notice in the video, it's a couple things. She did have somebody with her, which is good. That person that's with her should feel no embarrassment whatsoever about getting as loud as she needs to be in order to embarrass this lady to get attention. And that triage nurse needs to be fired. When you hear a woman talking about pooping, that means the baby is about to come. Also, and who knows where the father was, and I'm not making any judgments, but typically if you have the father there and you have a man there, you will also get some attention. It's sexist, but it is what it is. You're getting ready to have a baby. Also, go online, and maybe I'll be able to stitch some stuff in here to show you. This hospital had a bad reputation anyway, especially when it comes to their L&D department, their labor and delivery department. And there are other hospitals in the area that have much better grades. So when you can research your doctor, figure out who your doctor is, where they have access or privileges, and you can decide where you want to deliver the baby. And you and the father or family should feel comfortable about going and taking a tour in the hospital before you go. So when you go into labor, you have an action plan of what to do when you get there. This never should have happened. It's so many things I could make a long video about that went wrong here, but this is why we have to fight for black women's maternal health. For her to sit there that calm, and that lady was clearly in distress, she should have immediately went to the labor and delivery department immediately. Or if she had to stay in the emergency department for some other reason, she should have been taken care of immediately.
So we saw where the nurse denied care to the pregnant Black patient who was very visibly in labor by asking her very redundant questions in the ER. Y'all knew I was about to do this, right? So Crown Point, Indiana has done their big one, and they did the same damn thing. Another Black pregnant person in the ED, visibly in labor, visibly uncomfortable, sent away. Okay? Sent home. She delivered in the parking lot in her vehicle 10 minutes later. You know how poor of an outcome that could have been for that mom and for that baby? Racial bias is harmful as hell, and I don't know what more it's going to take for y'all to understand that. In both scenarios, what should have been done is an overhead page for a delivery team. Somebody from labor and delivery could have ran down. They have residents. They have on-call OB physicians. They got midwives. Maybe not all hospitals, but somebody there is trained to run their asses exactly where it is that they need to be to provide help. There have been so many times that I'm hands and vagina on site because we are trained to deliver anywhere. It does not take rocket science. But because there are so many racist providers that have this ideology around Black people's perceptions of pain, they write us off. But let's not talk about how nursing as a whole gatekeeps labor and delivery nurses, that how you don't see many of me in labor and delivery, depending on the area that you're at. We're in a bad place. And it continues to get worse with this administration. I'm over it.
At this point, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen the video of the Black woman who's in active labor and she's being ignored. And I'm just going to say this. As someone who's worked in the emergency room for years and has worked at numerous hospitals, I can confidently tell you that that is not protocol. When patients come in and they're in active labor, our main priority is getting you to labor and delivery because we are not trying to deliver babies unnecessarily in the ER. We want to get you to where the nurses are specialized in labor and delivery and where there are resources to make sure that you deliver safely. So to watch that woman be in active labor and be asked questions about who her doctor is, when is her due date, to be ignored, to look at a nurse that won't even look at her, I think it was completely disheartening. And this is a clear case of medical racism. And when we are taught that Black women are 3 times more likely to die during birth than our white counterparts, this is why, because of these types of biases. This is exactly why Black women have the highest mortality rate in the country, because we are not believed, because we are not prioritized, because we are dismissed. As a Black nurse, this hurt me 10 times more because this is why I am in healthcare, because I want to protect people that look like me from going through situations like this. This is why representation matters. Above all else, I am extremely happy that the patient and her baby are alive and they are being monitored closely. But this is why when my counterparts at work tend to say, oh, I don't see color when I'm taking care of patients, I just take care of everybody the same, I always correct them and I say, no, you should see color. You should see color. The statistics show that you should see color. People tend to not care. And this is a clear case of why I am in healthcare.
My father lost his mother at 16 years old due to medical malpractice while she was pregnant with a set of twins. She walked into a hospital and never returned home to her children. When I saw the video of this white nurse ignoring the pain of this woman that is clearly in labor, in active labor, I was absolutely disgusted. Not only was that sister's information already in the system because she was due to be induced that day, but this nurse, who people have identified as LaCrista Vaughn, nonchalantly handled this woman during this emergency, to which she literally delivered her son 12 minutes after. And for those who say that this is not about race, it is always about race, especially when it comes to Black people and especially when it comes to Black women in the medical system. The maternal mortality for Black women is 10 times higher than any other demographic in the United States of America. There are still racial biases that assumes that Black people can handle a higher threshold of pain to where we are not tended to, nor giving the proper care or medication to mitigate that pain. This book by Harriet A. Washington called Medical Apartheid literally details the history of medical experimentation on Black Americans in the United States. And also talk about how a lot of gynecological practices and advancements were as a result of testing Black women's bodies without medication or anesthesia. For me, it is not enough that LaCrista Vaughn loses her job. But white folks, it is time for y'all to stand up and stand within the gaps because Black folks have been yelling into the void. It is evident that our screams, our cries, our hurt goes unheard. Y'all have the opportunity to actually advocate and stand up against things that are blatantly wrong and racist. Do something.
Black women are significantly more likely to pass away from childbirth or childbirth-related complications in part due to nurses like this.
Fuck! When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due date 11? What? How many times have you been pregnant?
3.
This is your third pregnancy?
Yes.
You have 2 babies
It's
at
in
home?
my ass.
You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
The nurse didn't even look in her direction as this woman is screaming that she's in pain and literally saying that she feels it in her ass. As soon as a woman says she feels a baby in her ass, she about to push. The fact that she gave birth 12 minutes after the fact, mind you, due to the stress that mom and baby went through, the baby was born with their eyes open. The baby was born with the amniotic fluid being green, and the baby was born with meconium in its eye. The baby pooped. Still in mom, and mom didn't even get the chance to get an IV in before she gave birth. Anyone with a brain in healthcare knows that when a pregnant woman, especially one that is full term, comes to the ER, they're going straight to labor and delivery, no questions asked. So the fact that you kept this woman in the ER, first of all, back up, because let me tell you what they said the story was. The woman who posted that video is the mother of the woman that was in labor. The mother said that the woman called the hospital because she was supposed to get induced that day, but they didn't have no beds for her. So then she called them later on that day because they said they would call her when they had a bed, but she called them because her water broke. When she told them that her water broke, they told her to come to the hospital. So the hospital was expecting her to come. Now I don't know about the hospitals that y'all gave birth at, but the hospital that I gave birth in, if you were getting induced, that you were supposed to go to the ER and they were going to wheel you to labor and delivery. And that's exactly what they did. They went to the ER thinking that she was going to get wheeled to labor and delivery. And when they got there, the nurses told them to go park somewhere else. And the mother was like, huh? So then she goes and parks where they told her to park. And then she comes in and she's like, okay, like, can we get like a wheelchair? Can we get assistance or anything? And the nurses are like, the wheelchairs are over there. You can go get one. And she's like, you're not going to come with us? And the nurse told her, no. Like, no. And the mother's in disbelief because her daughter's literally screaming that she's in so much pain and that she feels it in her ass. Like she was literally about to give birth. She was already crowning and didn't even know. The daughter's in so much pain that she can barely get words out. And she's asking them, like she's pleading, can you please get me to OB? Can you have an OB come get me something? And the intake nurses are like, no, we have to do our paperwork first. We have to do our intake first. Like as if they can't wait. Like as if you can't do that at the bedside. This woman could have bled out. The baby could have had serious complications. Like there was so much that could have gone wrong with this just because of this nurse's negligence. The nurse's name in the video is LaCrista Vaughn, and this isn't the first time that LaCrista's been caught committing medical racism in 4K.
Going back in the building, man. We got it.
I'm gonna wait right here with my boyfriend.
All right.
You can go ahead and turn your phone off too, please.
I can record. I'm in a public place.
Recording everything that you're doing. So.
That's fine. That's fine. All right.
Yeah, look at the treatment.
In that video, the patient that they were mishandling was a patient that was having seizures, and that's how they were treating him. And the girlfriend of the patient felt uncomfortable with how her boyfriend was being treated, so she started recording. And here goes LaCrista telling her to turn her phone off. Why are you worried about it if you're not doing anything wrong? It's because you know you're doing this It's because you know you're doing this man wrong. Those are just things that we've seen on camera. Imagine what we haven't seen and how she deals with her patients on a day-to-day basis. Sadly, those aren't the only Black people complaining about Dallas Regional Medical Center as well.
Hey, bro, don't do that. Don't do that.
Medical racism is real and it kills Black people every single day. And these healthcare professionals that are committing medical racism need to be held accountable because they're not upholding their oath and they're treating people a certain type of way just off of hatred. And that's disgusting because you're in the wrong field for that. LaCrista needs to be investigated and that license of hers needs to be snatched, but not just LaCrista, but Dallas Regional Medical Center, period. Because she wasn't the only nurse that neglected that lady that night. Everyone needs to be held accountable. As a Black woman who's also given birth, I have a horrible labor and delivery mother-baby experience experience as well. And now that I'm in nursing school and I'm learning about the things that I went through, the nurses neglected me bad, like extremely. Like, it's crazy how you don't realize what's happening to you until like you could learn about it after the fact. And it's like, yo, like these healthcare professionals really did me crazy. Like, they really do Black people in healthcare disgusting. I feel so bad for this woman because I know she's traumatized. Unfortunately, her baby came out with some complications. Thankfully, her and her baby are okay overall, but that baby shouldn't have had meconium in their eye. That baby shouldn't have been born with their eyes open. That baby should not have had green amniotic fluid. All that is because those nurses were negligent, and they all need to be held accountable, period.
It's the fact that some people do not see anything wrong in what that nurse did. I reacted to this video on TikTok, and guys, trust me, you need to see the comment somebody dropped. That person never showed empathy for this Black woman. And I begin to ask myself, where is the conscience? Where is the empathy? Where is the sympathy? Are people going into these professions just because of the money they are going to make in this profession, or they are going into this profession because of the flair they have for it, because of the passion they have for it, because they want to save lives? But I doubt it. This is so heartbreaking. If you know you do not have the passion for this kind of job, please do not get into it, because at the end of the day, you end up making your life useless. You're going to disgrace yourself. You're going to embarrass yourself on social media, because this is the era of social media. Anything you're doing, somebody is out there with their phone recording you already. And before you know, it's all over the internet space. It's all over the world. I'm sure this nurse must be regretting her actions right now. There was no empathy. She was so slow attending to this Black woman. The nonchalancy is just out of this world. When you look at that clip, you see a Black woman in clear, undeniable pain. She's in labor. She's crying out. She's telling them what's happening to her body. And somehow, she still isn't taken seriously. And that right there, that's the experience of so many Black women. They keep talking about this, not being believed, not being listened to, not being treated with the same urgency as everyone else. It's like there's this automatic assumption that Black women can handle more pain. Who says so? Is it because of the color of the skin? Is it because of the complexion? Why is it that pain is being attached to the color of the Black skin? It's not fair. Or that they are exaggerating, or that they are being dramatic. No, it's not about the whole drama attached to this whole thing. It's about the pain this particular person was going through. And that stereotype is literally dangerous. We've seen the statistics for years. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during childbirth, not because they are less healthy, but because medical professionals often dismiss their symptoms. This is another thing that happens. You go to the hospital, you're telling a doctor, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, and they end up not giving you diagnosis. 1 year later, you discover that, oh, you're having a terminal disease. This is so sad. Delay their cure, or just don't treat their pain with seriousness. And what happened here is exactly that. Instead of saying, okay, this woman is clearly in active labor, deep labor, let's move, they treated her like she was overreacting. Was that the only nurse in that hospital at the time? Were there no other nurses? I think everybody in that place should be involved, not just this particular nurse alone. Like, there was no urgency, like her pain wasn't real. And that's the part that hits so hard, because it's the same thing Black mothers have been screaming about for decades. You could literally see how quickly things escalated once she finally got attention. She gave birth minutes later. I say minutes, like 12 minutes later. Imagine if she had passed out in that wheelchair. Imagine if the baby's heart rate dropped while she was still waiting. Imagine if there were complications. And online, a lot of Black women are saying, yes, this is why we speak up. This is why we bring our moms, our partners, our dwellers, somebody, because the system is not built with us in mind. This wasn't just negligence, it was bias. It was a moment that showed how dangerous assumptions can be. And watching that video just reminds people that it's not just about better training, it's about changing the attitudes, the stereotypes, and the way healthcare professionals respond to Black women in pain. So yeah, this is bigger than one nurse. This is a whole pattern, and incidents like this prove that the conversation about black maternal health is not over, because the real people are still being put at risk. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here, but this situation is a reminder that we cannot stay quiet about what black women face in the healthcare system. What happened to that mother shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be brushed off, and it definitely shouldn't take a viral video for people to pay attention. If you've had experience like this, or you know someone who has, kindly drop in the comment section, because the more we share, the more people realize that this is not an isolated story. This is a story that is familiar with a lot of black women out there. And guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. And more importantly, keep the conversation going offline too, with your friends, with your family, with your community. Accountability only happens when we keep shining light on this moment. And if you've watched up to this very point, thank you so much. You are the real MVP, and we're going to see you in the next one. Peace out.